You find it first. All right. All right, welcome, last one of the year, do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And
So let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we just are so thankful that we serve this community. And we just ask you to bless this food to our use, bless us to thy service. And let us just have a good conversation for our last meeting of the year. And thank you for even the rain. In your name we pray. Amen.
And there is no speaker today, so we'll just kind of have a little extra fellowship time and a business meeting after. All right. Okay, so gonna just kind of go through a few items for the club here. First, actually, I'm gonna start with, does anybody want to give a bowling report from last night? I can say as a witness that I witnessed a very heated game between Jamie and Kim and Pam Gary. I don't know if word is out there, if they rode home together or separately, I'm not sure. But it was very good. I don't know if anybody else has a report they want to give on that. It was a fun night that the social committee set up.
It was sad.
It was sad. Brought back too many memories.
We all suck at bowling.
There's a 5-year hiatus from when we were having bowling league. This show.
Oh, yeah, definitely do. But we did have a tight game on. We're just looking at everybody else's and I was at 155. Pam came in at 154 and Kim was bowling and missed one of the pins and ended at 155. But then we looked over and I think Rob had like a 170 of that game.
Oh,
So we thought we were the top players out there.
Big dog.
I saw him picking up.
I didn't break 100 on my first game.
Well,
Yeah,
it was fun, and I guess Rob and Kim aren't here, but thank you for them for throwing that together. Brent, service project?
Some of you, Lockwood has taken our eyeglass project over. And they have been searching for a site and have found one, and tonight they're unloading a trailer, and this is a huge like contractor trailer. That they picked all our stuff up from our site and took it to Rockford and stored it for the past months. So they have a site now, it's up near Cedar Springs. And some of us Lions are going up there tonight to help them unload the trailer and set up their site for the eyeglass project. So just an update for those of you who didn't know. Anyway, we intend to help them, training them on the aspects of the service project.
Hey, Brent,
Yep.
I don't know if it was on the little diagram that Scott gave us, because Gail looked at that and I didn't. But is there an address?
Yes, there is.
Is it on that?
I can share it. I'm not sure if it is. It might be. The site is actually a pickleball stadium. We're using part of that. It's all in pickleball. It's on Northland Drive.
Oh, then we're-
Yeah, just
14 mile
14
road.
mile. And yeah, it'll be interesting because what they have is well, it's an arena of sorts. I guess we get to use part of the first floor, and then we have like a mezzanine, like we had in one of our previous sites, where the measuring and the computer work can be done. All the sorting and the washing will be done down on the main floor.
They're not moving any of the eyeglasses yet, just the equipment.
That's correct. We have a storage container that's, I don't know, sounds like it's pretty full, but that'll be moving down the road.
Well, there were a lot of glasses that are in that trailer also, the
Yeah.
one that we are unloading from my
But-
understanding. Which is a concern, sitting.
Huge amount of
$500.
storage. It's gonna be moved later.
And this will be permanent where everything is now.
some reason. Permanent, no, it's not. Again, the building is owned by. He rents it out. Right?
Have you seen it?
I'm not.
Yeah, the concern that, Gail and I talked about is if they have a garage door. We don't need a place where a semi can pull into, but
Well, they
trying
were
to get a
told
path
that,
flowing
he
through.
was told that they needed to have.
Okay, okay, that's all.
On the pictures, it looks like it. It's pulled out. It looks like. Not only that, but
We'll find
it's gonna be raining. Oh, that's awesome, you can look at that trailer and look at that whole back in. So the future of it is they're also looking forward to us continuing to come up and supply person power, to do recycling, schedule we do annually. And, we'll do some training at a future date to show them how to use the computers and all that kind of stuff. To do that, so we're just not in charge anymore, it's not on our shoulders, but we're still looking forward to having that as an opportunity for people to do service. It's a big enough space so that they want to have clubs come in and have their club meeting there, do some recycling, have their meeting, and make it really a district kind of project where the district all gets involved, not just Rockford, not just us. So that's how it's gonna be promoted.
Right, we might have an evening meeting there sometime.
We can do that, yep.
Daytime meeting maybe?
Yes.
Gary, you might talk to also about the eyeglass missions evolving from this.
Right, so we have not done any official missions. We were gonna go to Jamaica last fall, but it wasn't safe. So I am setting up again with Joel to go back to Mexico. Joel, who is our Mexican coordinator, you know, the 6'2" Mexican. And he knows everybody down there, he knows every club, and he knows how to set it up for us to go where it is set up properly, so it's safe for us and convenient. Again, trying to pick up back doing the missions again, because if we don't have the missions, there's no reason to recycle. And to make the opportunity for more people to go on them. We still will be doing Jamaica also. They're building a clinic down there, a new adolescent and children and adolescent clinic, of which we're going to have 2 exam rooms in there and a lab that'll actually make brand new glasses. So we're connecting the other 2 line projects in the country so that they'll be able to put their glasses through there, and we'll still be able to go down and screen kids. And it's just that then we'll be able to examine, give them full exams in the exam room and make glasses on the spot, so we won't have to, eventually we're not gonna have to use eyeglasses. Right now, for everything else in the world, we're using used eyeglasses. So, we've had a little break in the eyeglass part, and the vision part because of COVID, and, we're going back to it.
Great.
For those that wanna go, I get requests all the time, people wanna go. So the idea is, hey, come up and do some recycling like before, get to do it, understand it a little, so you know what a +1, -1, Access 180 means, that there is a meeting.
Excellent, well, thank you. Kelly, any other, I don't think there was any other service projects listed, right?
Just the Drive for Vision,
Drive-
and if anyone wants to volunteer.
Yep, and that leads me to Drive Revision, Monday, June 16, Quail Ridge. It's a 9 AM shotgun start. We did that last year also, but all the previous years, it was like a 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so just remember, it's a morning event now. As always, hit any member up on the committee for interested in playing or sponsoring or have some raffle prize donations or somebody asked me today, are you still accepting them? The answer is absolutely yes. Until the very end, we'll accept whatever we can. You know, you get a week or 10 days outside the event and it might get tough to get a sign made in time, so keep that in mind. But other than that, we can probably make anything happen, so.
Is it breakfast and lunch with that?
Correct, yep, there's like a continental breakfast type thing when you sign in on registration. And then there's a lunch type thing afterwards.
Well, they ran lunch out to us last year.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Really, really well.
That's right, they did, yeah.
And, they had five lunches.
Jeremy safe, it's.
I do. Yes. They are, okay.
Okay.
So those box lunches and, you know, they just drove around it.
That's right.
It also
played in it in years past. You know, sometimes it could take 6 hours. Last year was a lot more efficient, a lot quicker. I would expect the same sort of timeline this year. So, if timeline was an issue for you before, I think we've shortened that up a little bit.
Is there an end of, is there a meeting at the end of it, any closure to it? or no?
There's like prizes and stuff like that, and if there's raffle prizes, but, you know, again, it's not like a big elaborate meal and prizes like it used to be where it would kind of take a chunk of time. It's a lot more condensed. There is a closure, yep. So anyway, appreciate any support on that and reach out to anybody on the committee or Jeremy. Obviously, Jeremy's not here, but Jeremy's the chairperson. Annual dinner is Tuesday, June 10th at Watermark. Cheryl sent out the invites. You've, you know, your members' cost is included. A guest is $50. There's 3 entree choices. There was a fish, a chicken, and a vegetarian option. There we will, and also, by the way, I don't know, again, last year we did a cash bar there and the bar got lined up. I don't know if everybody remembers, but because the bartender was constantly making change. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did at the holiday party where you buy tickets at the door, $7 each or 3 for $20, and you can just take that drink ticket up to the bartender and get a drink. So that should make it move a little more efficiently, so nobody's trapped in a line at the bar. And there will also have, the foundation committee is gonna do an update presentation. I think Gary's gonna do kind of a review of the year. We're gonna induct the new officers. Actually, the only new officer is Don Jekyll. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Don is gonna be our future treasurer. And then we've got 2 new board members to install. So those are the 3 installations that will occur, and then we've got awards to hand out. And then I'm gonna give an update on what we're looking at going forward, which I'll give you a little preview of today. So, and I wanna be careful because we haven't voted on this yet. The board is voting on a lot of this stuff at our upcoming meeting, but, as a trial balloon, since we're all here. First and foremost, we're going to be switching up the dues structure and the schedule. Schedule, we're gonna drop to 1 lunch meeting a month. We are gonna retain GVSU first Tuesday of each month. There's been a lot of good ideas for venue change. At the end of the day, personally, I sort of felt like we've been hopping around a lot lately. And I feel like I'm kind of shaking up the snow globe with the dues and the calendar. And so we're gonna keep exploring other venues, and certainly open to it, but for next year, the intent, again, this isn't voted on. The intent is 1 meeting a month and first Tuesday of the month here. So, and then on the backside of that, we're going to ramp up more service and social projects. That was kind of a lot of the feedback we got from the town hall and things like that were, hey, the lunches are great, but you know, we like the service and the social aspects of things. So we're gonna beef up that. We haven't changed the dues structure in 12 years. And at that time, we kind of segregated into this social or service member, lunch member thing. Our intent is to basically do away with that. For 1 club, we're gonna have 1 membership level. Everybody's a Lions member. It's gonna be this scalable, sustainable, fair rate where everybody is paying their fair share costs of running the club. And then we're gonna have a meal plan where you choose. Prepay your meals like a lunch member does now, or pay as you go like a service member does now. But there's not 2 memberships. There's 1 membership and then you choose your meal plan. And we'll default it so that whatever you did this last year, that's just what you'll be defaulted into. But obviously, if you wanna change it up, let us know and change it up for you. There's also to not be a burden on the treasurer. I think we're gonna try to steer everybody towards an annual payment. Again, if you prefer to pay monthly or quarterly, this isn't written in stone. You know, we're pretty willing to work with people. We just are trying to limit the work on the treasurer. And then, you know, with that, we're also gonna have a sponsorship opportunity, which essentially is going to go and fund a budget for those service and social projects. so that it doesn't add to the cost to be a member. But you get some added benefits for these social events that where the club pays for some of it, or there's some freebies or, you know, some foods included, or at things like the annual dinner, you know, maybe the guest rate is a lower rate or something like that, or you know, the board will kind of decide some of that as it goes on, but the idea is to then, you know, offer some sponsorships where you can put your name or business logo or whatever in the NUDA each month or every 2 weeks, I guess it is. And then the money from that basically goes to fund the service and social items on the calendar. So that way, everybody feels like they get, you know, ample opportunities for their membership. We want membership to be attainable to anybody, but also, you know, we have to make sure that the costs to run the club are covered. So anyway, it's been kind of a big undertaking, and thank you to the board and John, especially. John and I have been mocking up ideas for quite a while on this. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Again, I don't want to like put the cart in front of the horse too far here, because this is not said, this has not been voted on yet officially. Yeah, but
A clarification, so are we dropping down to one meeting a month period, or are we doing like a second meeting in the evening? I know there's some that talk.
yeah, so there will be one like meeting like this, one lunch meeting a month, first Tuesday of the month, and then every month there will be a designated service project and a designated social event. Those, and it's at least one of each. Those, at least on our plans that we've drawn up, wouldn't be necessarily a business meeting. It would just be a service project and a social event. Now, we can always pivot if we find that, you know, going from one month to the next without having a business meeting is too far. We can certainly incorporate some business meeting aspect to the other items on the calendar. And in doing so, you know, John and I met with the service and social committees kind of about this a month or so ago. And, you know, the other thing we want to do is not only provide these committees with a budget so that they can kind of create a more robust schedule and try out different things, different times, different days of the week. Certainly want to leave that to them to come up with that. But also we want to boost up those committees and support them with more members. So if you're not on a committee and are interested, I'd certainly try to steer you towards the service or social committees, because they're gonna have more on their plate than they did before, so. Am I forgetting anything, Gary or John or anybody, or? Yeah, and
Instead of question, will there, is the focus to try and move towards a calendar, like an annual calendar?
I mean, we have an annual calendar. And this is, yeah, not approved for distribution, but this is, I literally have a calendar January or September through June. It would be similar to now where, you know, July and August are really kind of.
But then for the social piece as well as the.
Yes, yeah, so the intent here is when we send out your due statement in the late June. With it, you will get a calendar that says, here's the date for each lunch meeting, here's everything else that's going on in the schedule. So it'll be pretty well laid out,
And it's always on the website.
and it's always on the website.
Calendar is always updated on the website.
We're still taking summers. Is that typical for Alaska? All of them take summers off, or is that?
Not every club, but many do.
Yeah.
And some even
we have
take
that
off
summer
January,
picnic.
February because of either activities or people going south.
And we have the summer picnic typically, and sometimes we do other things like, we went out to Scott Brady's a couple of years ago, that sort of thing. I'm not necessarily ruling that out, but currently how it's laid out, we would, you know, basically take July and August off still.
There'll still be opportunities for recycling.
Sure, sure,
Also.
but no formal meeting like this.
We should just come to.
Yeah.
Last night.
But, well, last night was really, the plan is a bowling thing, but it was really a social.
That was, yeah, absolutely.
Bowled and those who weren't there, and then we went to Minton for pizza and that, and there was folks there that, you guys came for that, and it was a great time.
Yeah, and
And we, of course, you always end up talking a little bit about mine stuff, but it's more interaction and that kind of social one might be down here at the, what used to be Davenport, there at the golf place. We went to golf there for an hour.
Right.
Golf and then grabbed hors d'oeuvres and drinks and
the real idea behind this too isn't to take away lunches or take away meeting opportunities. It's actually to increase them, but to increase the variety of them. And so, hey, I mean, we hear from a lot of people, hey, I can't make Tuesday lunch meetings. I'd love to do other things. And so that's really what the intent of part of this is, hey, let's skip the second lunch meeting each month and instead add some other things on the calendar. So that way we can kind of broaden our scope a little bit and try to include, just try to get as many people in this club involved in something that they want to be doing. That's really the idea.
And that's exactly what I'm speaking with Kelly too, and the service committee, what we're trying to do with the service opportunities. We have some that are set, but it doesn't fit everybody, and not everybody loves going to, pick our kids' food basket and just stuffing bags with tomatoes and things. And I enjoy that a couple times a year, but beyond that, it's not something I want to do every month. So we're looking at coming up with more like vision screening, preschool vision screening in the city of Grand Rapids, which is a huge need that's unmet. And doing that and having that opportunity, which could be at different times, whether it be day, weekend, whatever. I mean, preschool stuff, you pretty much have to be there when the kids are there. And then looking and seeing what drives people, what do they like to do? You know, if you like reading with kids, or you like doing blood sugars, or I mean, whatever that heck is. We put out a list of opportunities of what we could do as a club in terms of service that's needed, and then see who's interested in being involved. And then put that together and make those opportunities happen. Because we found with Lions USA, people have a passion for something. And thankfully, we're all different. And, so rather than get pigeonholed in terms of we only do vision, well, we don't only do vision.
Yeah.
I know 15 years ago, we decided we wanted to make a difference in the visual community, which we did. We ran around with the clinic and all that we do. But today there's more interest in doing some other things.
Right, and I would say, you know, that's a lot of the findings from the things like the town hall and just from talking to folks is, you know, nobody necessarily joined Lions Club to go to meetings and do fundraisers, you know, more about the social and the service aspect, and that's really what this pivot is towards. Hopefully that's understandable to everybody, and you know, obviously there's we are kind of fluid and will adjust as needed, but we're just kind of trying to steer the ship the best way we can for the most. Any other questions? Anybody else have any? Is there anything I forgot, John? Or, yeah.
Reminding me of the raffle tickets that you were selling earlier. How did that turn out?
Cheryl just showed me last night. Nobody won. Nobody from here won. I think the closest winner was in Ravenna.
Ravenna.
Is that right? Yeah.
Okay.
They
So-
won $1,000.
Yeah. Nobody from our club won.
But we can give you a
We have
report.
to, did we sell, yeah. did we
Oh,
sell
yeah,
that ticket?
so we didn't get all the way to the end, but we got close, and so I think it was $325 that we're getting back, something along those lines. We haven't, I don't believe we've received that yet, but we probably will in a month or so. So yeah, there's that's a few $100 extra that comes.
What club sold 440 tickets?
Many clubs sold.
But so that you know, the result of that money that's raised actually goes back to the clubs. Not that, but I mean, they use it for, and I can tell you that they've used it,
Yeah.
the funds for Coronas.
Right, Usman's daughters were a benefactor of
His family, the two
that
daughters
foundation.
that are both blind from glaucoma and congenital cataracts that are getting above and beyond care. And they just, we announced that they had their third baby.
But they
No.
did, but I don't know if we've announced that they
They
did.
had the third daughter.
I think
last
that's-
month, and she did not inherit any of that. So, and those are inheritable things. So,
Right, yeah.
The foundation is helping offset a large part of their costs. This line here now, through a grant that we applied for, and another.
And likely in years to come, too.
And they told me that Chad McCann of our Lions of Michigan executive
Foundation.
officer said, another Lion member that they met in Ann Arbor, met them and knew them. They found, her club and foundation helped fund them to get the windows tinted in the car. Because the girls are
This
being,
is sunlight.
they're so light sensitive, so they tinted the inside of the windows in their cars for them, which was like $500 or something, so.
Yeah, so those funds certainly have purpose and make its way back to our folks. Did I forget anything, John?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this is not written in stone, but, you know, the board has to vote on this stuff, but.
Board members are here, you're probably.
I mean, we're probably gonna close it again. Actually, there's not many. You know, the executive board has kind of approved this already. The full board has not. We have a full board meeting next Tuesday, a week from today, where it will be voted on. So my intent is to give you a more formal update at the annual dinner, at Watermark, and so that I'm optimistic that this will be the path forward for the next year. All right. Oh, yeah, tail twister, but before I do that, I was also gonna just kind of poll the audience. Cheryl tried something new today, the pasta bar. How did you guys like it?
Very good.
It's actually surprisingly a little less expensive than the sandwiches are. We have to have, I think the magic number is 18, right? 18 RSVPs to do this.
By Monday prior.
So anyway, keep
And if
that
I
in
don't
mind.
have it by Tuesday prior, it's a no-go.
Do they just charge for regardless, based on the number of people? It's extra.
I have to give them a number.
Yeah.
But if I don't have 18, if I only have 15, I'm not gonna get that, then I go with the other.
Once you get to 18, this becomes the cheaper option. It's basically the way.
What?
You know,
It's
it's close
close.
at 15, 16, or 17, is it really make a difference in our annual budget? You know.
We got it.
Not
Yeah,
much,
you
yeah.
know,
If everybody likes it that well, we probably can do a little more than that, I think.
Yeah, because sometimes you say you're not gonna go and then you'd like to go because something changed or whatever.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Yeah.
Or you can walk around.
Well, and I would also say that that's kind of another one of the goals anyway of reducing to one lunch a month is hopefully that, you know, people can plan ahead. The speaker lineup is obviously more condensed and can be a little more picky with who the speakers are. And hopefully that drums up a few extra attendees. When you know it's just the first Tuesday of every month, hopefully people kind of can.
Cause they have a few different buffets. They have like an all-American, which is like hot dogs and hamburgers. They have a Tex-Mex, which is like taco stuff, and then they have this one. So there's a few, but I thought I'd try this one.
Yeah. Good deal. Yeah, I
This
think.
one had this on. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
A trial.
I have to look at it.
Great, well, with that, I'll,
Well,
Yep.
the other thing, when you look at the lunch cost, it's not just the food. There's a room cost of $175, which is 50% less because we're a nonprofit.
Yep.
And then there's a service charge of 35 or
75.
yeah, too many
so it's $250 to open the door.
Yeah.
So just adding.
the more the better.
The more the better, the more the better. The cost will actually be that. So it's not like a restaurant where you just make, you know.
By the way, there's a lot of food left up there, if anybody's still hungry. So. Okay, Jamie.
Okay, I'm thinking. With, and, but Ed saw me and right away said, you said you didn't have your pen. Ooh, oh, I thought I heard a guilty conscience. So I'm not looking. If you don't have your pen, looks like, I'm trying to find out.
You wanted to find it.
You're feeling the need to give me some money?
There you go.
Okay, I like money. Good. Good. I need the tickets from the table too, which I usually forget to pick up till later. But you know, not a whole lot to think about today. Happy bucks from anybody. And okay.
We had a successful trip to, Dominican Republic for President's Club. It was great. Happy to be home and, yeah, it's nice to get safe travel now.
Didn't catch any disease, huh?
Not this time.
Luggage followed you?
Pretty well. We only had, 2 delays, on the tarmac here in Grand Rapids, stayed over in Charlotte. So no, all in all, pretty good. Everybody made it back from customs.
Actually won a golf lottery after 5 years. I'm almost broken even.
So that was your happy.
That's a happy.
Oh, there's.
There it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. My second oldest, got a lease on an apartment and has now left, which is great. So,
There usually means all.
yeah, 2 down, 2 to go.
Okay, the first one is, we had the Lions State Convention this weekend in Bay City. And, walking out of the banquet on Saturday, who did we run into? Ryan Smith and Carter that were there for soccer. So that was great. And Cheryl pretty much finished up her year as district governor and did a great job up there, leading the meeting. So, she's happy that she's only got 5 official weeks left. of that.
You really
4 events left.
retire?
Actually 6 events, no, ready.
And then I had one more. The speaker was Justice Shay Nichols, Supreme Court Justice from Kentucky. And he's a past national director and know him pretty well. And he was asking, he's a history buff. So he's looking back to see the history of Michigan and the presidents. And we went back to John S. Noel, who was our charter president for the Grand Rapids Lions Club in 1917. So I went to eBay and found this document because I didn't know what the guy did. And he was president in 1917. 1921, he was an international director, the only other international director we've ever had beside me and him. And then in 1924, he was international president.
Oh.
So if you didn't know, we had the international president of Lions International from our club. And this, what the heck did the guy do? And he ran John S. Noel Lighting Supplies, the largest lighting supply house in the world. And they were selling, he sells Lumo lamps, which is an old looking style lamp. You know, this was printed in 1910. And it talks about, because back then they had candles, they had kerosene lamps and gasoline lamps. And he's arguing that, or discussing that the electric lamp is much more efficient, and it costs $6 for the lamp. And they're fully guaranteed. If you don't like it, you've got your money back. And they included in there a 50% off coupon, and the address of their building is 50 South Division. You know, and there's still a building in 50 South Division.
Bring the coupon.
I should take the coupon and see what I get. So, I mean, when you think back on our history, you know, that's, I mean.
What do you think that lamp runs for now?
1924, right, and he died 2 years later.
Oh, really?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was 100 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and 100 years ago, our club met, like we did not that long ago, weekly. And it was only, all the clubs back then were started as noontime clubs, and they met weekly. And
Where was it at the Amway? Where was it?
the Amway didn't exist.
What was it?
Well, the Patlin Hotel was there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the Patlin was there in 1919. Have to look it up, but I'd say we've evolved pretty well in terms of our club. There's most of the city clubs like ours, and we were considered a city club, don't even exist anymore. Because they've gone to smaller communities that there's more. It's hard to keep clubs going in the city, so I think we're facing our challenges really well. And opportunities to get more people involved, but
$6.19.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was $220 today.
Hey, 50% off.
Yeah.
Any other happy?
That's all I
thoughts?
got, sorry.
Well, okay. No, I thought you were, Bob, I have 2 happy bucks that actually come from Gail, my wife. The first one being, it was such a nice event last night. Casual, a lot of laughing, a lot of talking, a lot of interesting, fun people to see and talk, and we had the time to do that afterwards at the Mint. And the second, Happy Buck is Gail and I have been involved with the eyeglass project for a long time, so we've got a lot of, still have eyeglasses at our house. And cases, because she takes them and takes them to In the Image, which is a charity that she works at. And, but she also likes birds and feeds birds a lot. And the Baltimore Oriole is this time of year when we see them, and they come to Orange. So she has an orange eyeglass case that she got from Eyeglass. That's opened up and screwed onto our,
Railing
onto
of
our
your deck.
Yeah, our deck, and filled with grape jelly. And it has brought the Baltimore Oriole there. In fact, it also brought a raccoon there when it cleaned it out. So she filled it and closed it, at night. And there was Baltimore Oriole right at the eyeglass thing, just looking at it and trying to figure out how in the hell do I get into the grape jelly? So, you know, that,
I have a
those-
picture if anybody wants to see it. She sent me a picture.
Yeah, I had the picture too. I was trying to print it and I couldn't get my printer to work. So nothing new in that technological problem. The only other thing I think is the
Oh,
raffle.
yep.
At least that I have from this. So. Really some of the
All right.
stuff in my
My
hand
chip's
here.
going in, you're my witness.
There you go. Okay. Might take it from there. Yeah, if you would. Yeah.
I didn't win. Jeff, he didn't win. He didn't win.
To honor the retiring governor. Or, like you to pick them out since you're retiring from your position.
All right, the number is 424
Or,
6 3 7.
what, still. 424-637. $5 goes to Mr. Younger.
Bob Younger. All right.
Check them out again, and the last drawing chance for the season raffle. Yeah. Okay,
Oh, I have to.
okay.
424 843.
Hey, that's me.
Jim Skylar.
Hey.
We really gave you such
Okay. Well, I would expect that,
$12
843, right?
you palmed it, didn't you?
I did. I did.
That one feels right. No.
No, don't put that.
Oh, don't back.
Yeah,
Okay.
we,
Take one out each week.
yeah, that, most people know how this whole thing occurred. It used to be a deck of cards. You know, that's what people did with it. And instead we got 52 chips in there as I.
They hold up a
Start
little better over time.
Yeah, kept going for decade, no.
It is. I thought we'd get you out of here early, only 10 minutes early, but does anybody else have anything before I ding my ice cream?
That didn't sound right. Wait, did the tail twister get him for not having his gavel? Oh.
I think the district governor did.
Well,